The morning felt ordinary, though I remember clutching my coffee a little tighter than usual. I pushed open the glass doors of the company and smiled at the receptionist. "Morning, Anna," I said. "Morning. Big day?" she asked. "Hopefully not." I laughed, though I didn't know why my chest felt heavy. I set my bag at my desk, powered on my computer, and started sifting through emails. Mia slid into the chair beside me, whispering, "You've been up since 5 again, haven't you?" I grinned faintly. "Guilty. You're insane. No one works harder than you." Before I could reply, Ethan's voice rang out from his office door. "Can I see you? Now." My stomach twisted. Everyone looked up as I followed him inside. He closed the door, but his voice stayed sharp enough to cut through the glass walls. "Do you know why you're here?" he asked. "No," I said carefully. "I thought the last project went well." He slammed a folder onto the desk. This is filled with errors. Deadlines missed. Reports botched. Do you think I don't notice?" I blinked, stunned. "That's not possible." I triple-checked everything. "Ethan, you've seen the numbers. They were correct." His lips curved into something between a smirk and a sneer. "Are you calling me blind?" "No. I'm saying I don't understand." "Show me where the mistake is." He leaned forward, voice low but laced with venom. "The mistake is you." My chest tightened. "After everything I've given, late nights, weekends, you know I've never failed this company. Stop playing the victim," he snapped. "You're done here." The door opened before I could speak. Mia rushed in, breathless. "Ethan, wait. She's telling the truth. I was on that project with her. The reports were flawless." "Get out," he barked. Mia froze. "But I said out." His roar made the entire office fall silent. My hands shook as I whispered, "You can't just fire me like this. Not after years of loyalty." He stood tall, enjoying every second of my collapse. "Watch me." The door stayed open this time. Everyone outside could hear. "Pack your things," Ethan said coldly. "You're finished." I swallowed hard, heat rising in my cheeks. "Ethan, please. At least tell me why. What did I do to deserve this?" His eyes glittered with cruel amusement. "You bored me." The words stabbed deeper than any accusation. I stumbled out of the office. Faces turned away. Others stared in pity. My desk felt heavier than stone as I grabbed the small box they handed me. Mia hurried to my side, whispering fiercely, "This isn't fair." "Don't believe a word he said." I forced a trembling smile. "It doesn't matter anymore." "Yes, it does," she hissed. "You built this place." Her loyalty broke me more than his betrayal. "Mia, thank you. But don't risk your job for me." She shook her head. "He's wrong. Everyone knows it." I hugged the box to my chest and started walking toward the exit. Every step echoed like a drumbeat of shame. Anna called softly, "I'm sorry," but I couldn't answer. To the door. I looked back one last time. Ethan stood in his office, arms crossed, wearing that same smirk. My tears blurred him, but his silhouette burned into me like fire. Mia whispered behind me, "You'll rise again, I know it." I stepped into the sunlight, the weight of betrayal pressing down until I thought I'd collapse. My world had ended, and Ethan had been the one to crush it. But as the doors closed behind me, a single thought hardened inside my chest. One day, he will regret this. I dropped the box on my apartment floor and sank into the couch. The silence felt unbearable, so I called my best friend Leah. She answered on the third ring. "Hey, you okay?" "No," he fired me. My voice cracked. "What? Ethan? Why?" "He said I was a mistake," I whispered. "In front of everyone," Leah gasped. "That's insane. You worked harder than anyone." "Didn't Mia speak up?" "She tried." He shut her down. He enjoyed it. Silence hung heavy. Finally, Leah said, "I wish I could come over, but I've got dinner with clients. I'll call you tomorrow, okay?" "Yeah, tomorrow?" I forced the word out, though I knew she wouldn't. Hours later, I sat across the table from my parents, eyes swollen. My father folded his arms. "What did you do wrong?" "Nothing. I gave them everything." My mother sighed. "Maybe you should have tried harder, dear." "I work nights, weekends, holidays. What more could I have done?" "Sometimes," my father said flatly, "bosses see things you don't." I stared at him in disbelief. "So you think it's my fault?" "I think," he said, "it's a lesson. Be tougher next time." I pushed back from the table, trembling. I was tough. I built my entire life around that job, and he destroyed it in seconds. My mother touched my arm. "Maybe this is a sign to let go." "Let go?" My laugh broke into a sob. He humiliated me. I begged for answers, and he told me I bored him. Her hand slipped away. That's cruel, she admitted, but don't drown in it. That night, I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, Ethan's smug face replaying over and over. His words echoed, "You bored me." I buried my face in the pillow. I hate him. I whispered to the dark. I hate him. The phone buzzed. It was Mia. Hey, I answered softly. I've been worried about you. How are you holding up? I feel like nothing. Like all those years meant nothing. That's not true, Mia said fiercely. You carried that company. Everyone knows it. Then why didn't anyone speak up? They're scared of him. He rules with fear. I closed my eyes. I don't know how to move forward. You will, she said. But don't forgive him. Don't let him think he broke you. I swallowed hard. What if he already has? Then rebuild, stronger. One day, he'll pay for what he did. I believe that. Her words lit something inside me. If life ever gives me the chance, I said through clenched teeth, I'll never forgive him. He'll regret every second of it. Mia's voice softened. That's the fire I remember. Hold on to it. After she hung up, I sat in the dark. My chest ached, but beneath the pain, something sharp had taken root. Not hope, not yet. Something darker, colder. Revenge. The knock on my door startled me. When I opened it, Mia stood there holding a bag of takeout. I brought food, she said. I blinked at her. You didn't have to. Yes, I did. You look like you haven't eaten in days. She walked in without waiting, setting the bag on the table. I sighed, sitting across from her. Everyone else disappeared. But you, I'm not everyone else. She unwrapped the food and pushed a box toward me. Eat. I picked at the noodles, whispering, why did he really fire me? Her eyes flicked up. You want the truth? Always. Mia leaned closer, lowering her voice. Ethan's been covering something. Financial reports. Deals that don't add up. You asked too many questions without realizing it. Firing you shut down the risk. I froze, chopsticks in midair. So he used me as a shield. Exactly. He thought if you were gone, no one would connect the dots. Anger burned in my chest. And everyone believes him. Everyone thinks I was incompetent. Not everyone, she said firmly. I know better. I rubbed my temples. Mia, how am I supposed to fight him? I don't have proof. You don't need it now. Just wait. Sooner or later, he'll slip. Her words lingered long after she left. I couldn't sleep that night, replaying Ethan's smirk in my mind. 3 days later, I opened my laptop to a new email. The subject line read, Interview Invitation Caldwell Enterprises. My heart pounded. I called the number listed. A woman answered. Good afternoon. This is Human Resources. Hi. This is I think you contacted me for an interview? Yes, she said warmly. Your old mentor, Professor Hale, recommended you highly. He spoke of how you once saved a failing project of his. Our CEO wants to meet you personally. I pressed a hand to my chest. Professor Hale remembered me? Very much so. Can you come tomorrow morning? Yes, absolutely. When I hung up, my knees gave out. I sat on the floor whispering, this can't be real. The next morning, I dressed in the only suit I hadn't boxed away. As I entered the towering glass building, my nerves shook me to the core. In the interview room, a man with silver hair extended his hand. I'm Richard Caldwell. You come highly recommended. Thank you for seeing me, I said, voice trembling. He studied me. I've read your file. Ambitious, loyal, determined. Tell me, after what happened at your last job, why should we trust you? I swallowed hard. Because I won't stop until I prove my worth again. Fire couldn't break me. Betrayal couldn't end me. If you give me a chance, I'll fight for this company as if it were my own. Caldwell's lips curved slightly. That's the answer I was hoping for. Welcome aboard. Relief crashed over me. I managed a shaky smile. I won't let you down. As I stepped out of the building, the sunlight felt different. Hope stirred in my chest for the first time since Ethan destroyed me. But beneath the hope, bitterness remained sharp. One day, I promised myself Ethan would choke on the ruin. He tried to feed me. On my first day at Caldwell Enterprises, my palms wouldn't stop sweating. I stood outside Mr. Caldwell's office until his assistant waved me in. Come in, he said warmly. You must be the new hire everyone's talking about. I managed a nervous smile. I hope it's good talk, he chuckled. We'll see soon enough. Tell me, what do you want out of this job? I swallowed. I want to prove I'm worth more than the way I was discarded. His eyes softened. Then prove it here. Work hard, stay sharp, and I'll back you. That promise stuck with me as I threw myself into every project. Late nights felt different now, driven by determination, not fear. Still, I couldn't erase Ethan's voice from my memory, laughing as he fired me. One evening, Ava slid into the chair beside mine. She wore confidence like armor. So you're the one Caldwell personally approved. Impressive. Or lucky, I muttered. She smirked. Luck doesn't last in this place. You either fight or you sink. I've been fighting my whole life. Her eyes flicked over me, testing. Good. Maybe you'll survive here. A few desks away, Daniel leaned over. Ignore her. She intimidates everyone. Ava rolled her eyes. Don't baby her, Daniel. She doesn't need it. I turned to him. Do you always play peacekeeper? He gave a small smile. Someone has to. Otherwise she scares off all the rookies. I heard that, Ava said sharply. You were supposed to. He shot back, grinning. Their banter eased my nerves. For the first time, I laughed at work without fear of who might be listening. Later that week, Caldwell called me into his office again. He leaned back in his chair. How are you adjusting? I straightened. It's challenging, but I'm learning fast. I won't waste the chance you gave me. He nodded slowly. I've seen your reports. Sharp, thorough. Reminds me of myself years ago. Don't be afraid to take risks. Hearing that stirred something. I thought I'd lost confidence. Thank you, sir. I'll remember that. As I left, Daniel was waiting in the hallway. How was it? Encouraging, I admitted. He believes in me more than my old boss ever did. Daniel's brow furrowed. Then don't let him down. Caldwell doesn't like betrayal. The word hit me harder than he knew. Neither do I. He studied me for a moment, then said quietly, good. Just be careful who you trust here. Before I could ask what he meant, Ava appeared, carrying a stack of files. You two gossiping? Sharing survival tips, Daniel said. Ava snorted. The only survival tip you need is this: get results. Everything else is noise. She shoved the files into my hands. Here, prove you belong. I looked down at the stack, heart racing. Consider it done. Hours later, as I finished the work, Mia's words came back to me. He'll slip. I thought of Ethan, picturing his smug grin. Even here, in this new world, his shadow lingered. Still, when Caldwell passed by my desk and said, good work today, I felt something stir inside me. Hope. I whispered under my breath. I belong here. But deep in my chest, a scar still burned, reminding me that Ethan's cruelty had forged this fire. And though I was rising, I carried his laughter with me, fueling every step higher. The meeting invite said 10 minutes. The assistant knocked. Mr. Caldwell is ready. I sat. He folded his hands. We acquired Bennett & Co. I blinked. Bennett? Ethan's firm? Effective immediately, he said. My stomach dropped. Why tell me? Because I want you to lead their division. Lead? I laughed before I could stop myself. You mean director? As director, he confirmed. You will oversee restructuring. I can't believe this, I whispered. Ethan fired me. He will report to you, Caldwell said. A cold thrill ran through me. You're serious? He'll be under me? He will, Caldwell said. You'll have full authority, budget, hiring, board access. I pressed my palms to my knees. So this is not symbolic. It is real, he said. I need someone honest to clean up issues there. That name Ethan came back with the memory of his smirk. Heat and ice collided inside me. Is this revenge? I asked. I don't want revenge, Caldwell replied. I want competence. I want him to feel something, I heard myself say. I want him to know how it felt to be discarded. Be careful, he warned. Your decisions affect people, not just one person. I nodded, but the image of him firing me stayed sharp. Will he be difficult? I asked. Probably, Caldwell said. But he's also valuable. Use him wisely. I left his office in a fog. Daniel intercepted me in the hall. You look like you swallowed lightning. They bought his firm, I said. And they made me director. Daniel grinned. That's wild. Congrats. Congrats feels wrong, I admitted. Part of me wants to punish him. Don't, Daniel said. You'll become him. Then what should I do? I asked. Lead well, he said. Hold to your values. That night, I rehearsed words I would say to Ethan. You're under my supervision now. I imagined the shock on his face. The fantasy soothed something raw. Mia texted. Be wise. Don't let him steal you back. I typed. I want him to know. She replied. Make sure you know why you want that. Her question lodged like a stone. The next morning, HR introduced me to Bennett's staff. Ethan entered the room with a polite nod that didn't reach his eyes. Anna, he said coolly. Congratulations. It's about time, I replied. My voice sounded small. He smiled without warmth. We'll work together. I studied him. Will you follow direction? As long as it's reasonable, he said. Reasonable for you? I pressed. For me, yes, he said. For you, probably different. A laugh escaped me, bitter and short. We'll see. Left alone later, I touched the scope of power in my hands. The choice before me was heavy and simple. I could break him, watch him fall the same way I had. Or I could hold the line and be the leader I'd always wanted to be. I whispered to myself. I will decide what kind of person I become. Afternoon, Caldwell called. How do you feel? He asked. Honored, nervous, I said. Good. Use it as focus, he advised. Don't let power make you cruel. Will you support me if it gets messy? I asked. Always. I chose you because you care. Mia came by later. So? She asked, smiling. I'm in charge, I said. He reports to me now. Careful, she warned. Revenge can taste like victory, leave you empty. Then what should I choose? I whispered. Choose yourself, she replied. Lead with the woman you want to be. That night I sat at my kitchen table and whispered, I'll test myself. I won't be small. I promise this now. The hallway was buzzing when I stepped into Bennett's offices for the first time as director. Conversations dropped as soon as people saw me walk toward Ethan's glass-walled office. Mia whispered near my shoulder, Ready? I forced a steady smile. More than ready. Through the glass, Ethan looked up from his desk. That smirk, the same one from the day he fired me, froze when he saw me stride in with HR at my side. The HR manager cleared his throat. Everyone, may I have your attention? Please welcome your new division director, Anna. Gasps rippled through the room. I let the silence stretch before I spoke. Hello, I said clearly. From today forward, I'll be overseeing this division. I expect professionalism, accountability, and respect. My eyes locked on Ethan's. From everyone. He shot to his feet. This must be a mistake. You, cut him off. My voice sharp as glass. Sit down, Ethan. The room went still. He hesitated, then lowered himself back into his chair, color rising in his face. I continued smoothly. I don't want excuses. I want results. If you have concerns, bring them to me formally, not in front of your staff. Is that clear? Ethan opened his mouth again. You don't understand. I understand enough, I interrupted, savoring the reversal. What you don't understand is that this isn't your kingdom anymore. Whispers broke out around us. Someone muttered, Did you hear that? Another said, She just shut him down. Mia leaned close, unable to hide her grin. You're killing him without lifting a finger. I ignored her, keeping my focus on Ethan. From this moment, everything runs through me. Projects, budgets, deadlines. If you can't adapt, you won't last. His jaw tightened. You think you can handle this? You don't know what it takes to run this firm. My pulse pounded, but I smiled. No, Ethan, I know exactly what it takes. I did it for years while you took the credit. Gasps again. He glared, but the words stuck in his throat. Any questions? I asked the room. No one spoke. Only shifting eyes, stolen glances, and muffled whispers. Good, I said. Then get back to work. The crowd dispersed, though I caught the excitement flickering on their faces. They had seen the balance of power flip in a single moment. As I turned to leave, Ethan muttered under his breath, This isn't over. I stopped at the doorway and looked back at him. No, it's just beginning. The tension lingered even after I walked away. Mia hurried beside me, her voice low but thrilled. Did you see his face? I swear he almost choked. I exhaled, letting the adrenaline ease. I've waited for this moment since the day he humiliated me. And now he's beneath you, she said. Exactly. I paused, my voice softening. But why doesn't it feel like enough? Mia tilted her head. Because revenge isn't victory. It's just the start. I let her words sink in as we returned to my new office. I shut the door behind us and pressed my hands against the desk, steadying myself. My heart was racing, not from fear, but from the intoxicating rush of power. I whispered, He can't silence me anymore. Not ever again. The next morning, Ethan appeared at my office door, knocking lightly. Got a minute? He asked, forcing a smile. I folded my arms. What do you want? He stepped inside. About the past year termination. It was a misunderstanding. I raised a brow. A misunderstanding? You humiliated me in front of the entire company. His grin wavered. I might have overreacted. Stress? Bad timing. Let's leave it behind us. I leaned forward. You didn't overreact. You destroyed me because it suited you. He chuckled nervously. Come on, Anna. You've always been dramatic. I slammed a folder onto the desk. Dramatic? Or accurate? Because these numbers say otherwise. His eyes darted to the papers. Where did you get that? From your own records, I said coldly. Shady deals, inflated invoices, hidden losses. You thought no one would notice? He swallowed hard. Those are complicated arrangements. Business is never clean. Business doesn't mean fraud. I shot back. He forced another smile. You're new to this level of leadership. Let me guide you. I laughed bitterly. Guide me? You're drowning, Ethan. And you want me to throw you a rope? For once, he had no comeback. Later that day, Daniel stopped by my desk. What's with Ethan? He looks like someone stole his crown. I lowered my voice. He tried to charm me, call the firing a misunderstanding. But I found things. Deals that stink. Daniel frowned. Be careful. Exposing him could get messy. I don't care about messy, I whispered. I care about justice. When the office emptied at night, I passed Ethan's office. He was still there, sleeves rolled up, pacing. He looked up. Still working too? Yes, I said. But unlike you, I'm not scrambling to cover my tracks. His jaw tightened. I'm fixing things. Or hiding them? I asked. He sighed heavily. Anna, don't ruin me. I made mistakes, yes. But you don't have to crush me. I stepped closer. You crushed me without blinking. Why should I show mercy? His voice cracked. Because I can change. I'll prove I can. The desperation in his tone startled me. For the first time, Ethan sounded small, fragile. Mia appeared behind me, arms crossed. Funny, isn't it? He never begged before. Ethan's glare darted to her. Stay out of this. She smirked. Not a chance. I turned back to him. You'll report everything you do from now on directly to me. Every deal, every expense, every project. That's humiliating. He snapped. I met his eyes. So was firing me in front of everyone. Consider this balance. He sank into his chair, defeated. Over the next weeks, the team slowly shifted. They came to me with questions, not him. Ava approached me one morning. Honestly, it's nice having someone who listens instead of barks orders. I smiled faintly. Then let's keep building together. Behind us, Ethan lingered, watching like a shadow fading at the edges. At night, I saw him again, alone in his office. His hands rubbed his temples, his desk piled with files. He muttered, almost to himself, please just give me one more chance. Hearing that, I froze. This was the man who once threw me out like trash. Now he was unraveling, thread by thread, back in my office. I whispered to myself, is this what I wanted? His fear? The truth unsettled me. Victory wasn't loud or sweet. It was quiet, hollow, and staring me in the face. The conference room smelled like stale coffee when I shut the door. Ethan sat across, hands folded. He offered a thin smile. Anna? I didn't answer. Why did you do it? He blinked. Do what? You fired me. Humiliated me. Say it. I pushed a file. He rubbed his face. It wasn't personal. Not personal? I repeated. You told me I bored you. He sighed. I said things I regret. But there were problems, deals, invoices. If anyone looked, they'd see missing money. I thought removing you would hide it. I felt my laugh break. You used me as a shield. I didn't think you'd survive without the job, he admitted. I thought you'd leave and no one would notice. You panicked by crushing me? I asked. He swallowed. I was protecting myself. I was scared of losing everything. By ruining my life? I said. He looked small. I know. I'm sorry. Do you expect forgiveness because you're sorry? I asked. No, he paused. I want to fix it. I can hand over documents. I can cooperate. Why should I help you? I asked. Because maybe you'd get closure, he said. Because I can't fix this alone. Mia's voice echoed at the door. Anna, everything okay? She appeared in the frame, concern on her face. Talk to him. I gestured. Watch. I turned back to Ethan. Tell me everything. Names, dates, transfers. He swallowed hard. There are shell companies. A consultant invoices loop. Some payments routed through vendors we barely use. Who else knows? I pressed. To people, he said. Mark and Laura. They helped me set it up. Where are the records? I asked. In a locked folder. Off-site server. I can give access. His hands trembled. I studied him. The arrogance that used to breathe fire had collapsed into pleading. If you hand it over, they'll come for you. They should, he said. I deserve it. Do you understand why I want this? I asked. He nodded. I took your reputation. He closed his eyes. I know. I'm sorry, Anna. It spiraled. Did you ever think about the people you'd hurt? My family? My friends? I demanded. He opened his eyes. I thought of myself. I was greedy and afraid. Then tell me, do you want pity or justice? Justice, he said immediately. If that means prison, then yes. Mia stepped fully into the room. If he cooperates, we make it clear this is about the truth, not vengeance. Ethan looked between us. Please, help me do the right thing. I felt a strange calm settle. The rage was still there, but under it sat something else, clarity. If you hand the files to HR and to Caldwell, I said, and you testify, I will ensure the process is fair. I won't twist this into revenge. His relief was visible. You mean you won't make it worse than it needs to be? I mean, I want truth. I want accountability, not spectacle. He nodded, tears in his eyes. I'll do it. I'll do whatever it takes. I stood. Begin right now. Call a meeting. Give access. Tell the truth. He rose slowly, voice small. Thank you. As I opened the door, I whispered, don't make me regret this. I walked out. Power had to keep me whole. The boardroom was colder than usual. I set the folders on the table and looked at the men and women who controlled the future of this company. Mr. Caldwell nodded. Proceed, Anna. I stood, opening the first folder. I've gathered evidence regarding financial misconduct within Bennett's former leadership. Specifically, Ethan Bennett. Ethan stiffened across the table. This is outrageous. I raised my hand. I'll present. You'll wait. The board members exchanged glances. Caldwell leaned back, silent, watching. I flipped to the first document. Here. Inflated invoices routed through shell vendors. Payments with no deliverables. Signatures traced back to Ethan's office. Gasps. Ethan slammed his fist on the table. These are taken out of context. I ignored him, sliding another sheet forward. Second, consulting contracts issued to non-existent firms. Funds redirected into private accounts. One board member frowned. Are these verified? Yes, I said firmly. Cross-checked with accounting, HR, and vendor records. Every page confirms misconduct. Ethan's voice cracked. This is a witch hunt. She's twisting numbers to make me look guilty. I met his eyes. The numbers condemn you, Ethan, not me. Silence spread like fire. I continued, steady and calm. Third, evidence of client misrepresentation. Promises of services never delivered. Bennett's name used to cover personal debts. Board member Patel leaned forward. Do you have proof of personal gain? I slid the final folder. Bank transfers. Ethan's account. Dates align with every false invoice. The board erupted in whispers. Caldwell raised a hand. Quiet. His gaze moved to Ethan. Do you deny this? Ethan's voice faltered. I was under pressure. Deals went wrong. I had no choice. I leaned closer, voice even. You had a choice. You chose greed. You chose lies. And you thought firing me would bury your tracks. His face drained of color. Patel turned to me. Thank you, Anna. You may sit. But I didn't sit. One more thing. Ethan once told me I was a mistake. That I bored him. Today, the truth shows who the mistake really was. A sharp murmur filled the room. Caldwell finally spoke. The evidence is undeniable. Ethan Bennett, you are stripped of authority, effective immediately. Ethan's eyes darted around the table. Wait, you can't. After all I built, no one built with lies. Caldwell cut in. Your allies have already withdrawn support. One by one, the board members turned away from him. His supposed friends avoided his eyes, shifting in their seats. Cowards, Ethan spat. You'll regret this. All of you. I stayed still, my voice calm. Regret? That word belonged to me once. Not anymore. His glare landed on me, burning with hate and desperation. You think you've won? I met his gaze, unflinching. No, Ethan. You lost the moment you betrayed everything you claimed to stand for. The guards entered quietly, summoned by Caldwell's nod. Ethan shoved his chair back. This isn't justice, it's revenge. I finally spoke the truth, steady as stone. It's not revenge. It's consequence. As they escorted him out, he shouted over his shoulder, "You'll regret this, Anna." But his voice cracked, weak and hollow. The boardroom fell silent. Caldwell looked at me, unreadable. "You handled this with control. No theatrics." "I'm proud," I exhaled slowly. "Thank you. But I didn't do it for pride. I did it because truth matters." Patel nodded. "The company is safer now." I sat down at last, my hands steady. The woman he once dismissed had just held his fate in her hands and let his own sins finish the work. I whispered only to myself, "This is the revenge I deserve." The announcement came mid-morning. Caldwell's voice echoed through the hall, effective immediately. "Ethan Bennett is dismissed from his position and stripped of all responsibilities." Gasps rippled through the office. Doors opened, heads turned, whispers spread like wildfire. I stood by my window listening. Moments later, Ethan stormed out of his office, a box in his arms. Someone muttered, "About time." Another whispered, "Unbelievable." Look at him now. Ethan kept his head low, but the whispers chased him like shadows. I stepped into the hall. His eyes flicked to mine, anger, fear, shame all tangled together. "You got what you wanted," he hissed. "No," I said softly. "You got what you earned," he sneered, but his voice cracked. "You think they'll respect you after this?" "They already do," I answered. His lips trembled, but he turned away, shoulders hunched. As he passed through the glass doors, no one followed. The man who once commanded fear, now left alone, swallowed by silence and whispers. Mia appeared beside me, eyes shining. She grabbed my hand. "You did it." I shook my head. "No, he did it to himself." She hugged me tight. "Still, you stood tall when he tried to break you." "I knew you would." For the first time, I let myself sink into the hug. My chest felt lighter, as if years of weight had finally slipped away. Daniel joined us, carrying files. "It's strange, isn't it? Seeing him walk out like that." "Strange," I admitted. "I thought it would feel like victory, but it doesn't." "What does it feel like?" he asked. I breathed deeply. "Release. Like I can finally breathe again." Mia squeezed my shoulder. "That's what liberation feels like." We moved into my office, closing the door behind us. I sat, staring at the desk that once would have terrified me to touch. "I started at the bottom," I said quietly. "Every late night, every sacrifice. And he crushed me anyway. I thought I'd never recover." "But you did," Mia said. I nodded slowly. "Yes, but the cost was high. I lost trust. Friends I thought were loyal drifted away. My innocence gone." Daniel leaned against the wall. "And what did you gain?" I looked at him, then at Mia. "Myself? The version of me that doesn't need anyone's approval. The one who doesn't beg for answers. I gained the strength to stand." Mia smiled. "That's worth more than any title." I whispered, "It's everything." Outside, I heard scattered laughter, someone joking about Ethan's fall. Once, I would have joined them. Now, it only felt empty. "He used to laugh like that at me," I said, mocking me while I begged. And today those same laughs followed him out. Daniel studied me. "Do you pity him?" I thought about it. "No, but I don't rejoice either. He wrote his own ending. I just stopped letting him write mine." Silence settled, peaceful for the first time in months. Mia leaned closer. "So what now?" I exhaled slowly, finally smiling. "Now I live. Without fear, without his shadow. For me." She grinned. "That's the Anna I believed in all along." Daniel added softly, "And the Anna will follow." I looked at them both, warmth filling my chest. "Then let's build something better, together." Outside, the glass doors closed on Ethan for the last time. Inside, I breathed free air again, for the first time since my humiliation. I wasn't broken, or bitter, or bent. I was whole. I whispered to myself, "This is my liberation." I stood at the window of my office, the city lights glittering below like 1,000 possibilities. The glass reflected my face, calm, steady, different. Mia walked in quietly. "You're not celebrating?" I smiled faintly. No champagne, no cheers. Just me and the silence I fought so hard to earn. She tilted her head. "Do you regret anything?" I turned from the window. "Regret? Maybe the years I wasted proving myself to someone who never valued me. But not this ending. Not justice." Mia leaned against my desk. "Justice. That's exactly what it was." I nodded. Ethan thought he had power over me. But his downfall wasn't revenge, it was consequence. His sins did the work. I just refused to stay silent. Daniel appeared at the doorway, knocking softly. I hope I'm not interrupting. Come in, I said. He stepped closer. The board wants you to know they were impressed. You handled the exposure with precision. No theatrics, no chaos. Because I wasn't trying to destroy him, I replied. I was trying to free myself. Daniel studied me. So are you free? I glanced back at the window. Yes. For the first time, yes. Mia crossed her arms. But you're different now. Harder. Sharper. I had to be, I said softly. I was broken once. Humiliated. Cast out like I was nothing. That woman is gone. What's left is someone who doesn't beg for worth. I define it myself. Daniel gave a small smile. That's strength, Anna. Strength, I repeated. Born from betrayal. But I won't waste it. I'll use it to build something better. Mia's voice softened. You know, when you first left this building in tears, I swore one day you'd come back stronger. Look at you now. I laughed quietly. If someone told me then that I'd stand here above him, I wouldn't have believed it. Daniel chuckled. Life has a strange sense of irony. Not irony, I corrected. Justice. Silence filled the room again. Not heavy but peaceful. Mia finally asked, so what do you want now? What's next? I looked at her, then at Daniel. I want to lead with honesty. I want no one under me to feel the way I once felt, discarded, voiceless, broken. Mia smiled. Then you'll be the boss we always needed. Daniel nodded. And the one people will follow, not fear. Their words warmed me. I never wanted fear. I wanted respect, fairness, truth. Mia grinned. Now you have all three. They left after a while, leaving me alone again with the city lights. I pressed my hand against the glass, whispering to my reflection, Ethan fired me for no reason. But I rose for every reason. The words vibrated in my chest, not bitter any more powerful. I thought of that day, his smirk as he stripped me of everything. I thought of the nights I cried, the mornings I doubted myself, the people who walked away. And then I thought of now the office, the respect, the calm after the storm. I whispered again, firmer this time, I am not the woman he broke. I am the woman who rebuilt. The city below stretched endlessly, alive with motion. I felt alive with it, strong, sharp, unshakable. And for the first time, I wasn't looking back. I was moving forward.